Hello, welcome to part 2, which is looking at the actual historical example of the source. Now, this is in your practice, right? You saw a little map here. And the question now is, what can you infer about how ships ended up in Singapore? So the subject that they want you to find out is how did they end up in Singapore? How did ships end up in Singapore? And the question word they use is what can you infer? So when you answer your question, make sure you state that I can infer, and then you follow this topic. I can infer ships ended up in Singapore. Alright, then due to, then you give me the reason after that. How do you get this reason? You have to look at the source in order to find this out. In this source, you can clearly see southwest monsoon wind is moving from here to here. Then you can also see northeast monsoon wind, which is moving in this direction. So one wind is moving here, one wind is moving here. And you can tell that this will help the ships to move from India all the way to China. Alright, so the wind can actually assist the ships to move. And as you can see here, the quickest way is to use the northeast monsoon to go from India in this direction to China. And when they're going back, they can use the northeast, sorry, just now was southwest. Now they use the northeast monsoon to go from China all the way back to India. And both ways, you can see that both ways they actually pass through this little island here called Singapore. So you can tell from this map here that your inference is going to be something about the winds, right? And something about the location of where Singapore is on the map. In this case, Singapore is right smack in the middle. So you can say that your ships ended up towards Singapore due to Singapore's good location. And whenever we talk about maps, right, we will use the term geographical. Okay, we will call it geographical. So now we're talking about location, right, in the map. So we're talking about Singapore's geographical location, because this is the ideal spot in the middle of both the southwest monsoon and the northeast monsoon. So my conclusion or my inference, I can infer ships ended up in Singapore due to our good geographical location. And this is your main inference or your point, right? The point is Singapore's good geographical location. Then, as per the previous example, you need to show me the evidence that supports this stand. And the evidence is known in the source, where there's a map showing ships leaving China for Southeast Asia, and India were catching the northeast monsoon wind, whereas ships leaving India for China were catching the southwest monsoon wind. What I'm doing here is I'm just describing what I see in the picture, right? Ships moving using the southwest wind, and then ships moving using the northeast monsoon winds, and Singapore being right smack in the middle. So what does this mean? How does this imply, right? How is this going to imply that Singapore indeed has a good geographical location? Well, the fact that they use the winds northeast and southwest implies, right? So like what I did in the previous example, I draw a graph, right, that help to connect the points. So again, your point is they came due to Singapore's geographical location. And then your evidence is they use the monsoon winds. Okay, how about I use a blank page? All right, so your point is the traders came, or the ships came due to the geographical location. This is your point, right? Due to the geographical location. Your evidence is you can see the ships, right, sailing past Straits of Malacca, okay, where Singapore is, and they are using the monsoon winds that just so happen to be there. So this is your evidence, right? You are describing the map, and this is your point. So now, just like in the previous example, you have to draw the link. Okay, so what? The question again is, so what? So what if the ships are using the monsoon winds and sailing past the Straits of Malacca? How does this imply that traders came due to the geographical location? Okay, so you will say something like this: because they use the monsoon winds, right, to sail to different places, this implies that they would pass by Singapore. Naturally, they would pass by Singapore, and as such, you can say that Singapore's location is actually very convenient. And because it's convenient, it makes Singapore an attractive place for traders to do business. Yes, to make profits, to rest, and to trade. Now, this is me making sense of why using the monsoon's winds would make traders attracted to come to Singapore. Why the monsoon winds implies that Singapore has a good geographical location is because the monsoon winds are the one that blow the ships towards, just happen to go towards Singapore, to pass by Singapore. And as such, this makes Singapore a very convenient and attractive place to trade, where traders can come here to make profits, right? And therefore, all these things helps to explain why traders came due to Singapore's good location, because the location was convenient, the location was attractive, and the location enabled them to make profits. All right, and therefore, writing all these things, you have successfully linked back to Singapore's good geographical location. So when we look at the answer now, all right, we go back to the basic again. I can infer ships ended up in Singapore due to our good geographical location. How do I know this? Well, I know this because I see the ships, right? What do I see in the source? Ships leaving China for Southeast Asia and India, catching the northeast monsoon wind, while ships leaving India for China were catching the southwest monsoon wind. All right. As such, this means that Singapore has a good geographical location, because it simply implies that when ships use the monsoon winds, they would end up passing through the Straits of Malacca, where Singapore is conveniently located. Okay, as such, Singapore is a place that is very convenient, very attractive for the traders to come here to trade, to rest, and recharge. And then I draw the link. As such, this explains my point that Singapore's good geographical location helped us to build strong trade relations with the world. Okay, so take some time to digest this, all right, which will explain exactly how you can make your inference. All right, the next video we'll move on to 2 more examples for your inference.